Now, guess what? Now, this is the fastest way to make money in 2023. I know that the reason why you've clicked this video, and I dare promise you by the end of this video, you'll have all the answers with you. And I dare promise you as well, I'm gonna be brief, precise, and to the point. Meaning, I ain't gonna beat around the bush. I'm gonna give you the straightforward points that you need to understand, or the areas that you're supposed to incorporate for you to make money fastest way in 2023. All right, sit back and relax. And by the way, the information that I'm about to share is not a rocket science. It's quite an information that maybe you've already heard, but I'm going to use it in a different way for you to actually understand. All right, now let's go to the point number one. You see, if you want to make money, there are some factors that you have to understand. Now, let me lay the foundation for me to explain my points that are forthcoming, all right? One thing that you're supposed to understand when it comes to make money, you don't need to actually complicate the things. If you can just close your eye and think around, what's happening in this 2023, all right? Because we make money based on the situations and happenings. Now, what's happening in 2023? Right now, people are complaining, right? People are saying, hey, the cost of living is actually high. And if I may ask you, what do you think they're complaining about? Hey, have you heard people complaining, hey, the price of vehicles are actually high, all right? You don't hear them complaining about that. They're complaining about the prices of the food and the livelihoods, like the food, the water, the electricity, and what have you. So those are the basic things that people are complaining about, and not only in Kenya, but globally. So let me tell you one secret. Whenever you hear people complain about something, then it means they usually use that thing each and every time, and it's a thing that matters a lot to them. You guess what I'm just doing? Now, if you realize that people are actually complaining about something, it means that they actually need that thing each and every day. That's where they put most of their attention and their money. And therefore, that is a place that you'd love to put yourself into and make something that solves their problem. So first of all, you've identified their problem, what they're complaining about. Right now, as people are right now in this 2023, in this month, people are actually focusing more on, because right now the inflation in Kenya is actually 6.8. Now, people are actually focusing much of their resources towards actually buying food, paying the electricity, the water, and the basic needs like the rent and the clothing and what have you. So what exactly does it tell you as a business person? All right, you get to put your mouth where the money is. Now, what does that mean? It means whatever people are complaining about, that's where you put money. And where is it? Food. So therefore, it means in the food industry as we speak, that's where the much of the money is actually, is. Or we say right now, you see, when we have high cost of living, and actually the source of income have actually remained constant. So what people do is that they incorporate something that is called marginal propensity to save. Yeah, forget about that big name. But what does it mean? It means that little that they're earning, they're actually not willing to actually spend more of it. They're actually concentrating much of that money towards buying the basic needs. And that's why you find right now, things like the properties, the buying all those, those high-end things and what have you, actually they have gone down. Why? Because people are actually concentrating much on the food and what have you. So therefore, what does it mean? Now, the business number one, or the enterprise that you're supposed to get yourself into, is the food industry. Food industry. And when I talk about food industry, it means all whole stretch of things. You can get yourself into selling things like the cereals. You can get yourself selling things like food related products, like you can do the groceries, you can do like vegetables, you can do things to do with like restaurants, you can do things like. That's where the money is, because people are actually using that what they have, even if it's little, to actually go ahead and buy the food. That's it. So all what you need to do is that you have to be price competitive. Remember one thing. Okay, I'm making this video from Kenya. The point is this. See, most of the people nowadays, they're actually price conscious. So if you can be able to price your product on the price conscious or the price consideration way, therefore at the end of the day, you're gonna make something. So nowadays, if you tell somebody, hey, I'm selling something, the very first question they ask you is how much? Because price really matters nowadays, because they're trying to incorporate that what I said is called the marginal propensity to save. So if you get yourself hand into the food related business, then you're going to be okay. But now there are procedures that you're supposed to follow before starting this food business. You have to ask yourself, where do you come from? Probably you're watching this video from an up country. Therefore, probably starting a cereal business there won't really do good for you. Probably because most of the guys who surround your locality are actually farmers, and probably they do have their produce. Therefore, doing the cereals won't really do good. All right. That makes you now do something different. Now, if you're living in town, obviously these people need to eat, these people need to drink and what have you. So if you can get yourself into the business, if you can get yourself into the business of the food, you can sell the cereals, just like I said, you can do the water, you can do the cooking oil refill, you can do the milk business, you can do the egg business, you can do this, so yourself into the things like the groceries and what have you. So if you can actually focus on that specific area, then rest assured you can make some money at the end of the day. Why? Because that's where majority of the people are complaining about the cost of the living. And when they say cost of the living, they actually relate to the things that we actually affect us each and every day. And those things are actually food, the water, the electricity, the clothing, and what have you. Now, we go to the next point. Number one, the other thing is that you have to understand people are selfish. That's very true. People are very selfish. They are self-conscious. Okay, we may substitute this name to self-conscious. People are so self-conscious, meaning they love to know or they care about how they look nowadays. And that's why you see people are saying, hey, ukivaa suti mzuri, show people, I don't know if you dress nice and all those kind of things. And that's why we have even things are called selfies and what have you. So what exactly am I trying to raise the point here? I'm trying to actually identify a problem there and therefore try to fill that gap or solve the problem and get a reward out of it. So how exactly am I expecting to do this thing? So if people are selfish, when I say selfish, I mean not in a harsh tone. I mean like people are self-conscious, right? So therefore it means if you can get yourself into the industry of the beauty, if you get yourself in the industry of the fashion and what have you, then at the end of the day you're gonna make money. And when I talk about the beauty industry, this is a whole stretch of things. At this beauty industry, you can get yourself a barber shop. All right, people love to look nice and what have you. Well, gone are the days when people used to say, hey, beauty, was actually resonating only with women. Nowadays, even men are actually conscious on how they look. There are men who are doing what we call the, skin routine. Others want to have some abs and what have you. Also in the beauty, you can also do the gym business. Also the gym business also can do good gym business because people want to look nice, want to look good, want to look fit and what have you. All right. The other thing on the beauty industry, you can get yourself into cosmetic business. This is where you're selling the beauty related products, the jellies, the perfumes, the what have you, and all those kind of things. And by the way, talk of perfume, that can be a whole set of a different business on its own, actually. Okay, on the beauty industry as well, you can do the things we call the beauty shop. All right. The beauty shop. All right, when I say the beauty shop, or people call it parlor or spa or what have you, this is where people come and they can do the massaging, they can do the manicure, the pedicure, the nailing, polishing and what have you, all those complicated names and what have you. So this is an industry that is actually going ahead and is making money out of it. So again, when you talk about the people are selfish and self-conscious, again, people are trying to place themselves in a situation whereby, hey, they're just enjoying themselves, they're nicing themselves, okay, and all what kind of view. So then that means there is another industry that is popping out of this interest of people where they're actually concentrating their money. And what is that industry? And I probably you've guessed it right. It's about entertainment. You see, people want to be entertained, all right? People are really so much focused into be entertained. And that's why if you go to, maybe in our country, Kenya, if you go to the entire stretch of Thika Road, you find that there are lots of popping out new entertainment joints, all right? I don't want to name names, but obviously you can name them. So you find that these joints are actually popping out each and every day. So entertainment, you can get yourself into the drinking joints if you are the kind, all right? If you are the kind, that is the drinking joints, all right? And this drinking joint can actually be joined with something called what? You can do the choma zones and nyama choma and what have you. Also, that one now carries you back to what we call the restaurants and what have you. So, and again, after you getting the entertainment and the drinking joint and all those kind of things, another business is being created again. So that business is actually called the service industry. The service industry. These people have already taken they have enjoyed, they have drunk and all those kind of things. Their cars maybe are dirty and what have you. So also the other businesses pops out of this. Therefore, things like the car wash, the other things and all those kind of things. So you see, what happens is this: you don't have to complicate things. What you do is that you identified the character of that people or those people in that specific region or country. You leverage on that to make some cash out of it. I know one thing, or I remember one thing, after the Chinese were opened the doors and came to Kenya, they realized what we are doing. They looked at our lifestyle. They realized we are cooking ugali. Ugali was quite a strange thing to them. They have never even heard of it. And then after that, they realized, hey, you see, you guys, you're cooking ugali using a sufuria and do this and this. They came up with a machine that you can actually go ahead and cook ugali. Those machines are actually available. All what they did is to identify what we are doing, what we concentrate much on, and then they can make a machine out of it. Then they realize we're also cooking chapatis and what have you. Right now, bear you witness, we have some machine that you can actually use to spread the dough for you to make the chapatis and what kind of you. So the point is this, all what you need to do, don't complicate the process. You have to identify what the society is doing, what they are leveraging on. Are they selfish? And if they are, or self-conscious, depends on how you view it. And then from that particular point, you ask yourself, now, what business can I create out of that? Because a lot of people get confused when they want to start a venture, when they want to start an investment. You want to start a thing that you love. The issue is not about you loving. The issue is about what is the society vibrating. What are the vibration are they sending to you, so that you can resonate with it, establish a business out of that, so that at least you can create something at the end of the day. Right now, I dare you not, anybody who hails in Kenya and get themselves into the cereal related business, especially the wheat, are not really, yeah, sure, wheat flour can also do good, and also maize flour or corn flour. So if you can get yourself in that industry, because the most consumed commodity in Kenya is actually ugali. So if you can get yourself into that thing, then at the end of the day, you can make some cash. Again, entertainment environment. And nowadays, people are so much, intertwined into the entertainment. So if you can actually provide them with that entertainment related kind of a thing, then at the end of the day, you can make some cash. So if you go to a society like the Western society, where they treasure the families and what kind of view. So if you can come a product about talking about the families, talk about marriages, talk about kids, how to have a successful family and what kind of view, those people who offer those services, they usually have a lot of followers and they can actually monetize their services. If you come to a country where people, majority of them, and I'm sorry to say this, are actually in poverty, they're looking forward on how they can actually sustain themselves and grow themselves. If you can be able to help them, advise them financially, how they can be able to manage that little that they are getting, how they can be able to invest that money. You see, at the end of the day, you can actually leverage that services and be able to make money out of it. So it is not really a complicated science, but let me tell you one thing. Probably watching this video up to this particular point, maybe you've not gotten the point and you're like, well, I expected you to tell me like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, simple as that, and then I started doing it tomorrow and then get the money. Probably maybe you got it wrong. The point is this, not most of the people will get this information, and those who will, then at the end of the day, they're gonna use this information in the right way. Where you're seated right now watching this video, probably you feel like I have not, or I'm not yet done justice to what you expected of this video. That's the situation that I was back then. Now I was like, okay, you're telling me like money is a reward given after solving someone's problem. Like, I don't feel like you're really solving my actual problem. Like, I really want to make this money and I want you to give me like black and white explanation and such. So ain't nothing like that. The point is this, if you understand the whole concept of making money and the time and the scalability, then, because at the end of the day, when we talk about fastest, we are talking about time. And about time, when it comes to making money, then it means that you have to scale down that specific thing. And I was giving a very simple example. If you are a teacher, don't think beyond that what you're doing. That concentrate on that what you're doing. If you are a teacher, we are about to close the schools in this month or next month, all right? The schools will be closed. Therefore, I know you're thinking like, hey, guess what? These are just kids and you're going to be idle like the next 2 months. Or what you do, you need to have a social media account whereby you sit, stand before a camera and talk to people, tell them, hey, I'm a teacher, I teach chem and I teach biology, I teach whatever I teach. Hey, guess what? I'm good at children and also kind of things. I do this and this and that. Don't monetize your services fast. Give us the value. Let us identify the value deep inside of you. After us identifying the value deep inside of you, then you can actually go ahead and monetize your services. Tell us, hey, guess what? That's my free information. But if you'd like to get more information from me, then grab my number and then let's have a conversation. And that's what I'm about to do. Hey, if you would like to get a conversation with me as far as the finance is concerned, investments and what have you, this is a place to be. Grab my number from the description of this specific video. Give me a call. I offer those services at a price of a cup of coffee. Or you can grab my booklet about investment. A copy goes for only $280. For now, it's a goodbye. But don't forget, And I do post a video each and every day. And if you don't want to miss a piece, then do this. Down below here on your right, there is a small button written subscribe. Hit that magical button, like this video. And guess what? At the end of the day, when I post a new good video, YouTube will notify you so that you don't miss any. For now, it's a goodbye and see you in